Society tells us that good sex must mean real love. But in unhealthy relationships where love is not actually what's happening there, the sex can often be really great, exciting, like mind-blowing. The reason for this is because sex has been attached to so many other things than sex or wanting to get closer to the person. Sex has become this way of communicating your desire or obsession of wanting to heal or fix another person. So it carries so many strong underlying feelings. Another reason that the sex is often so great is because, we can think of our own relationships, maybe having an argument. After an argument happens, right? And people can have healthy arguments and then have makeup sex. In a relationship where it's unhealthy, what happens is it's taken to the next level. So sex releases physical tension, it can release emotional tension, and in these sorts of relationships where there may have been a buildup of tension and poor communication or abusive tactics or toxic relating to one another, sex often becomes the only thing that actually works in the relationship. So it's very physical, it's over quickly if we're thinking about the length of the relationship, right? You can relate to your partner over hours, across like work and social life, but the sex is maybe one part of it. The sex is not the whole relationship. And in these sorts of relationships, you really cannot use sex as the barometer for whether it's healthy or not. The sex is going to feel great. The sex is going to make you feel great. You may be using the sex to manipulate another person, and this could be the man or the woman or female, masculine roles in this relationship. So in this chapter, Robin Norwood uses the case study of Trudy. She talks about in the beginning, Trudy, who in desperation tried to end her own life. This is not something I can relate to. I know there are lots of people who have considered suicide seriously, who've attempted suicide, who had to be rescued from. In this case, Trudy she drove over a cliff on purpose and ended up in the hospital. And then while she was there in the hospital, wanted to end her life again. And she did this because she was in so much emotional pain from a relationship that she had with someone that was unhealthy. He was married, had his own family, and they only had sex. Like, that was it. But she really used sex as a way to get his attention, thinking that, all the bad things that was happening in his marriage, she could heal him from, fix him from, that, she could be the only one to make him happy. So a lot of people, I would say both of the partners in the relationship, often use sex as a way to try to fix things. But the underlying issue in these relationships is not the sex, and sex cannot fix it. So the character Trudy had to learn how she was using her body to get attention from men, how she was trying, and all of this really going back to childhood. That's a thing I really like to do, go back to childhood to think about how did you get to where you are so that you can figure out how to go to where you want to be. Trudy wants to be in a relationship with a man who honors her, values her, sees the sacrifices she makes, sees all the compassion that she gives, but she continuously picks men who are emotionally unavailable, who are in a relationship with someone else. That's something that I've done before. And all of this is, you yourself. I was emotionally unavailable. I was not ready to face a lot of my own emotions because I had a lot of fear, and the fear scared me. I really didn't like it, and so I would push it away. And so in relating with men, the same thing would come up. I would relate to men who weren't emotionally available. So as I've grown, my relationships have grown, and I can spot an emotionally unavailable man a mile away. And it's a process, right? I don't look down at anybody who's in their own, process of relationship themselves, but I know what works for me and what doesn't work, and I want it to work. Like I desire so much a healthy relationship. And to get there, you have to understand a few concepts. So Robin Norwood has two things I want to touch on: her definitions for love, and then understanding boredom in a relationship or with a man. So she talks about Eros, which is like passionate love. And then she talks about Agape, which is like sustaining, consistent, sort of stable love. Relationships that last like 20 years, 30 years are Agape kind of love. These are not people who are madly in love and obsessed with it. That's not the way their love manifests. Their love manifests in, you are a reliable person. I can predict what you're going to do. You are going to be here for me. I trust you to support me. That's the kind of love that creates long-lasting relationships. Often, these sorts of women who love too much are in relationships where it's unpredictable. You don't know when you're going to see him again. You don't know when you're going to hear from him again. It's like you're in limbo, and the limbo is part of the thing that's exciting. It gives you something to feel and something to look forward to instead of focusing just on yourself if you were in something that was stable. So there's those two. What women who love too much often feel when they're in the presence of agape love is boredom. So you're with a man who's consistent, giving you attention, ready to be here, love you, support you, and you'll say he's boring. You'll say, oh, he's not very exciting. Oh, I don't feel a spark. I don't know about him. I'm sure there are a lot of other modern words to describe that. I don't know. What do they call them? Corny, or I don't know what they call those guys. I'm so not hip to it. But you know what I mean. That there is a guy who doesn't play games, who is going to show you how much you mean to him, how much he cares about you. And women who love too much, myself, I've been in spaces with these men. I've had opportunities to partner with these men and rejected them until I came to a place of understanding myself, understanding that the unhealthy relationship that I was in was really just pulling on my heartstrings and had me wanting to fix this other person. You can't fix anybody. Fix this other person instead of looking in at myself. I had my own healing to do. And so once I did that healing, I made space and opened up to stop my unhealthy patterns of relating to men. So it's a process. I won't say it's not like an overnight thing. It's something that comes with time to stop experiencing baseline, sort of normal, healthy as boredom. I'm in a place now where I can really feel energized with someone who's respectful, who is kind. Like, that really does turn me on these days, and I love it. And I love it so much, and I'm so grateful for where I am in life that I just wish this on everyone. So if you have the book, tell me what you think about chapter 2. If you don't have the book and you are a woman who loves too much, or you know a woman who loves too much, I think you should recommend the book to someone that you think it could help. Let's have a discussion here. Thank you for watching.